Money. Dun, dun, dun. Loose change. Loose change. Except this is going to be loose because there's not much change. So we're going to be discussing, kind of going into the the brass tacks of what it took to make this great new
The Rocky
series.
Mountain oysters of this great
The
series.
Rocky Mountain oysters of this great series, X-Men 97.
X-Men 97.
So I think something that's really important to go off is the storyline of how we got to X-Men 97
Okay.
is the fact that we got such a successful launch off of What If. Now, I watched some of the What Ifs.
I did not.
I like them. I think they're fantastic. Honestly, the art style, the animation, and the storyline, it's really good animated content. Like
Okay.
if you're not looking at it for canonized,
Yeah.
if
If it's just something to watch. Because I'm
yeah.
all for extra just things.
yeah, it's like Star Wars did that with what is that called?
Visions.
Visions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you get a little bit of that. And so it's nice that we got a catalyst for that because then it greenlit a lot of animated projects.
Yeah.
This is this revival was first discussed back in 2019, which is an interesting time to have, I think, talked about that because I don't feel like there was a whole lot of revival of animation at that time. Obviously, again, the catalyst for it was this, but the fact that they were trying to revamp old animated shows, that was not something that was really in the works. It was always they're always
feel like-
taking old ideas and making them this.
I feel like the Spider-Verse movie really kind of launched that.
Yeah, probably that probably changed the
Because-
landscape of this.
Because if we take a step back and think about animation projects, what comes to mind before Spider-Man?
Oh,
It's been a long time since something.
yeah. Honestly, I can't think of anything that's iconic that will draw my attention to
Yeah.
like good animated projects.
As far as like on this big of a like Disney level, Sony level, like that type of stuff. And so having that, I feel like Marvel really kind of then put their pedal to the metal of wanting to have something in competition.
I agree.
I would definitely say that no, this is not a revolutionary animation achievement. However, as far as content goes, we as fans were desperately starving for X-Men content.
Yes.
They have not done anything with the X-Men in a decade.
No, and the stuff that they've done with the X-Men even prior to that has been shaky at best. Shaky at best.
Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, we won't even talk about right now.
Yeah, no. And, it's nice because also this is the first X-Men project since they got the rights back from 20th Century Fox for
that's cool.
Yeah, for the characters for TV and film. It picks up immediately, like we said, right after the ending of the last season when Charles Xavier goes off. They keep hinting to the fact that they keep saying he had died because that also kind of goes because the creator of the show, his name is Bo DeMeo. I think that's how you say his name. He articulated that this was going to be kind of its own thing. It's not just a remake necessarily, but because it's not necessarily just. But again, it's more multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
So it's similar. A lot of the same things happen and correlate, but it's not necessarily in the same universe as the normal MCU stuff. So, and I also think it was kind of nice to be able to get somebody like that who, in my opinion, just off of some quotes that I had gotten, he really understood like the essence of what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times it's kind of like what happened with the Fantastic Four. The essence of who they were wasn't really. It was like, oh, we have a super scientist guy. We have a big jock, like a big dumb rock guy.
Are you talking about the newest one?
You can talk about the Miles Teller's one. You can talk
I did
about,
not see the Miles
Oh,
Teller
dude,
one.
you can talk about that one. I would even argue you can go back prior to the one. The only person that gave anything to that role was Johnny Storm.
Dude,
So
Captain America, Chris Evans.
yeah, like that's the only
So
thing
good.
other than that, it was really surface level. They're not really getting into who these people are. They're trying to make it a live action comic book instead of it trying to be written as like the essence of these characters in live action.
Yeah.
And so this, I think, is doing something very well with that because these people get it. They're talking about this is a found family. That's,
Yeah.
the idea that they're holding on to that these people were misfits. Many of these people, their families didn't even want them because they're freaks. And so the idea that that's really what this is supposed to like emulate all the time. That they, like their biggest priority is to them as their family.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I really think they nailed it.
Same.
I also do.
I teared up a little bit during Storm's letter.
Yeah, man, that was heavy. That was heavy. And again, they do such a good job at emotionally grabbing you with that.
Yeah. Just right out of the gates.
Mm-hmm.
So
And there's a lot of things that are saying that the only reason that this was really possible to do in the first place is because when the X-Men animated series came to Disney Plus, its streaming numbers were huge.
Really?
Like people started watching it a ton. So yeah, and then
Well-
that, which is great because it led way to this. So
it's kind of like how the other day I was looking around on the Xbox and kind of just remembered that there's not other than Midnight Suns, you get to play as Wolverine, but that's a turn-based card battle game. There is no other X-Men game on the Xbox.
no,
And it blows my mind because there were 2 phenomenal ones followed by 2 semi-phenomenal ones. And I'm talking about X-Men Legends 1 and 2, followed by Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 1, 2. The third one was really rough. That one was only on the Switch. It was really rough. I didn't like that one at all.
So none of those games ever came to the Xbox. They only came to the PlayStation.
They came to the 360, but there is no backwards compatibility beyond there.
Damn, unfortunately, PlayStation does get that right.
Kind of.
I'm sure there's some games that they don't have backward compatibility to. I think it would be incredibly difficult to
I
have
know
it for
that
every single one.
For the PlayStation 3, when it first came out, they had backwards compatibility all the way back to the PS1 for any game. But after a while, they stopped making the ones that had the backwards compatibility feature on there because it was just cost effective to try to slim down on that. So there's only certain consoles on the PS3 that can go all the way back. The PS5 I'm pretty sure can do 4 and 3 or whatever, but
That's probably a big money maker for him. Like I have to.
It would be dumb not to.
I agree. But yeah, so and Disney Plus is really coming out with some heat too. So like it's nice. Like again, you get what's the one that they do for Star Wars? Visions.
Visions.
Yeah, they do Visions. They again.
Well,
now
Visions is 6 different studios.
Well, no, I'm talking about just coming to the Disney Plus platform.
Oh, yeah.
And so the fact that they have all these things now starting to do it, it's
of things that are like taking risks and they're paying off.
Quality content.
Yeah.
Like not just quantity anymore.
Exactly.
And it's funny that they're all animated, but yeah like the fact that they're getting
then you got Visions, which What If is getting a second season. Did it already come out?
It may have. We'll do some R&D.
But then you've got Visions, which had 1 and 2 seasons, and then you'll have this, which they're already recording the lines for season 2. I wonder if the creator was able to storyboard season 2. That way, it's still like.
So he is the one who made season 1 and 2.
Okay.
He got let
He'll
go
still
of
get
after.
credit.
He got let go of after season 2.
Gotcha.
Disney apparently, according to rumors, he was a very difficult person to work with. And also, what's funny is because in that article, they really make sure we are aware that he was a gay black man. And
Gotcha.
Also,
Perfect.
He had a non-explicit OnlyFans account, and Disney did not like the optics of
Interesting.
it. Non-explicit, so he didn't.
What
I don't know what it was. I'm not going to look it up.
You didn't look it up?
No, because I don't know what they constitute as non-explicit.
Could it be swimsuit calendar?
We might have different definitions of what we think of as explicit for a male body to be on the internet.
Yeah, that is very true.
That's something that I'm like, maybe we'll do some looking up of it. So
Okay.
But yeah, so anyway, but again, I'm not saying anything about him as a character because
No, you do whatever you want to do.
He won my respect with this show.
Yes.
And other things he's been on. He worked on Moon Knight.
Especially because recently, with all the Star Wars projects that are coming out that are garbage, and it's all of people saying, I wanted to make something that interested me. Me. This dude is the only one out of the dozens that we've seen recently that actually feels like he cares about the project.
And actually here's the big part about that is because I think that at the root they all cared about the project and let me get to the end of my thought first. He is just somebody whose opinion about the project I agreed with. And so you're like, oh dude, actually that you speak in facts because it doesn't feel like they're just shoving a bunch of.
You're right. I can't say that these people didn't care about the projects, but
it just aligns with my cares.
It seems like they didn't quite understand it. Like Disney doesn't understand how a lightsaber works right now. people are getting stabbed. People are they're swinging them around like bats. They just don't understand how it works right now.
Yeah, you're very right. And so it's cool when they actually pull something out like this.
That feels like they understood.
And something that is a really good thing, like a big part of that too, is the fact that they updated their animation style.
Yeah.
Everything, like, again, trying to keep it tied to its roots of how that was in the 90s cartoon, but they really gave it a good revamp of today's technology.
Yeah.
Merge Studios, they have a large list of things that they're credited for.
Okay.
At least for the ones that come up immediately for their. Oh, apparently I Googled past that page. Hold on. So, but they do a large list of stuff. They have a good animation, I guess, portfolio.
Yeah. What else have they done?
So, I mean, they do. So when it comes to the animated world, they've done The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep, Devil May Cry, Lookism. I've never heard of it. Super Sons. There's a bunch on here that I've never heard of. They do a lot of the animation for any of the Witcher stuff.
Okay.
They've done Guardians of the Galaxy animated.
Gotcha.
Boondock Saints. Or not Boondock Saints. Boondocks. They did Legend of Korra.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The animation of that was very pretty, whether I disagreed with the story or not.
Yeah, and so they're heavy hitters. They did a lot of the Batman animated stuff, the Batman and Superman, the Batman and Robin. Yeah, they
the modern day movies.
Yeah. The animated stuff that you can stream,
like Public Enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like it's
interesting.
They do some like really good quality work, I think. So Star Wars Visions 2 is going to be done by them.
Okay. Like an episode of that.
I guess quite a bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Volume 2 is going to be done by them. So at least that's what it says, or it has been done by them.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if that's out or not. But yeah, I mean, seasons 1 and 2 were made by DeMaio. He did try to storyboard season 3, but they're probably going to be, but he'll be replaced by season 3 because they've been approved for season 3, so they'll make it happen.
Wow.
They believe in following their dreams and that they can make anything happen. So costumes works inspired.
To be honest, the fact that it's already got 3 seasons, like
Yeah.
I'm very pumped about that.
Mm-hmm.
Way more excited about that than Netflix's Avatar.
Oh yeah, it's unfortunate. But and also a big call to this was the fact that they had a lot of the returning characters.
Yeah.
Take it away, Aaron. No, I'm just kidding.
They had a couple.
Well, they had a couple of returning characters, and they also
Wolverine, Beast, Rogue.
Yeah,
That's really about it.
And so those returning characters.
But a couple of the voice actors that they got for Cyclops, which I love how he sounds. I think they did a really good job.
They get his essence.
Yeah. A real kind of like no nonsense, the mission. Let's do it, my X-Men. But that voice actor, Ray Chase, he has had a killer career. So he has been accredited in IMDb for 295 voice acting roles.
That's so crazy. Still even thinking about it, like that's a lot of work.
That is a lot.
That dude works.
50 of those projects are in the last 5 years.
That dude never doesn't work.
Dude,
I wonder.
It blew my mind.
Well, it also kind of depends on what size role he had in those projects.
Well, like he was the narrator in the Armored Core 6 video game. He was in 68 episodes of a new Pokemon series that was happening. He was in a fighting anime called Baki Hanma. He was when I say voice of a male barbarian in Diablo 4, I mean, what kind of voice? It's like,
that's kind of what I meant. Like it depends, but regardless,
True.
He's still accredited for like 200 of these projects.
But he was also in another Marvel project voicing Bucky Barnes. He was in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was also in Sekiro, one of your favorite games.
I do. I'm a big fan of that game.
He was Genichiro Ashina.
Genichiro Ashina.
Now, who is that?
He is I guess, kind of like my father figure.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, and so you fight him
that's really
on top of the tower, yeah.
That's pretty cool. Oh, that battle. I remember you were stuck on that for a minute.
That was.
Yeah.
It was a bummer.
So, yeah. But the dude who plays Magneto now, he was in... He did a voice in Red Dead Redemption 2. He did a voice in Fallout 4. He was the narrator for Diablo 4. So
this is the guy who voiced Magneto?
Yeah. So Daddy Nito,
dude.
Nowadays has worked with Ray Chase in the past. So that's cool that they have some camaraderie there. They're able to, like, the guy who voices Cyclops
Yeah.
now. But in the original 90s cartoon for X-Men, the voice of Magneto, his name was David Hemblin. He was an act. He did like 114 projects, stopped acting in 2011, but he was in the Salem Witch Trials in 2002. His character name was John Proctor. In the year 2000, he was the character Asmodeus in Redwall.
Really?
Yes, in the Redwall movie and in the TV show.
Wild.
Yes.
Wow, this dude's still been he's been working for a long time.
Well,
then.
the 90s Magneto, the original Magneto.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
gotcha.
the nowadays.
I was gonna say, I was like, holy crap, dude! Like, how old is this guy? All right,
No.
yeah.
So old Magneto, he was the voice of
Redwall's
character.
an awesome series, also.
Yeah. But he was also in a movie with Jamie Foxx. His character's name was Dr. Blade, and this movie came out in 1992 called Booty Call.
That's hilarious.
So he's been all over the place. I thought that stuff was pretty fun.
I was also wrong. The dad figure is not Genichiro Ashina. He's the main bad guy that I'm stuck.
Oh,
on.
the one that-
he's the main.
Oh, dude, that's cool.
Which is way cooler.
That's
cooler.
so cool. You're fighting Cyclops right now.
Fighting Cyclops.
And you're losing to Cyclops.
Horribly. He's
Horribly.
doing a lot cooler things than just shooting laser beams.
I'm glad you fact-checked that.
I needed to, because at first I was like, wait, hold on a second. I'm pretty sure Genichiro.
Because you're going to have some major From Software fans on here.
They're gonna be like, dude, you poser. Yeah.
Especially since he's now been in 2 From Software games. I really wanted to go through the Armored Core game, but I never did.
I've heard it's very good.
Yeah.
I've heard it's very good.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like, I mean, obviously they got some heavy hitters to come back for this. They
Dude.
got some heavy hitters voicing these
Just
characters.
a lot of fun. A lot of these guys have been in TV shows and video games for decades.
And something else that is, because again, trying to track it down, can't seem to find out the budget for this project at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's speculation that they paid a lot of money to be able to use
When
the
you say a
opening
lot,
theme song.
throw it at me.
The words are a heavy price tag
That's it?
by the CEOs and stuff that we're talking
Weird.
about, because the theme song was owned by a third party.
Oh,
So to
okay.
be allowed to use it, it came with a heavy price tag.
Oh.
So
But I did know that was like the essential thing that they needed.
if they didn't get that, dude,
wouldn't have worked.
I don't think this would have been as popular. Because again, once you get that song going on, it just hits you hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it makes me feel all fuzzy and warm inside.
Yeah, and I personally, I think that it really kind of attests to the quality of where we are with technology in this, because again, it's kind of shout out to like the Bad Batch. The animation style just dwarfs anything from within the last like 5 years, I would argue.
Oh, yeah.
So even with X-Men 97, you can see the quality. It even freaks me out because sometimes their faces or bodies don't move, but their eyes will, and you're just like, it's just so weird. Like, dude, it's so crazy what they can do in like these cartoons nowadays.
Yeah.
And it's funny how fast it just seems to pass by. And like, and again, even from when this show first got talked about, 2019, thinking about the animation style of 2019, and you think about it today, like you can drastically see something that was done in the teens of the 2020s. And like, dude, it's insane. So shout out to everything that's going on with that. I like the project's direction.
Me too.
Again, we were talking about this on the last segment. I'm really excited to see where these characters end up going. I want to see how Magneto integrates into the X-Men. I want to see where this project ends up taking off with that.
Because I know there's X-Men comics that go into all this stuff. There's when it comes to X-Men comics, there's nothing new under the sun.
No, I want to see in the regard to this show.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
where
I don't want to do any research going into it.
Yeah, what line are they going to be following, or what line are they going to be trying to stay honest to? So
I'll watch the new Rockstars breakdown afterwards.
I'll
I'll watch Mr. Sunday Movies break down for me comedically.
I agree, because they're
And a lot more aligned with my personal thoughts.
you know what, they're kind of the inspiration behind this in the first place.
Dude,
So
I love
shout
those
out
guys.
shout out to Mr. Sunday Movies.
James and Mason,
You guys ever want to do a collab?
do a collab.
Okay, we'll collab with you. We'll collab.
You're over in Australia. We're over here in the States. I'll put a slice of bread down, and you guys can do the same. We'll make an Earth sandwich together.
Amen, brother. Amen.
To me, my X-Men